Hello people, welcome to the creator of Bricks. Today I'm going to review the DC Multiverse Rebirth Batman. Sorry if you can hear me scooting up a bit. So I got this in today. I got it for 20 bucks. And yeah, I got it in from Amazon. So yeah, I'm going to review this thing. Alright, so here's the box for Rebirth Batman. You got nothing right here. So it says DC Rebirth Batman on the side there. Then you get so there's the product shot of Rebirth Batman. It is the same as on the card. Here's the card. It says Batman DC Rebirth. If you want to read up on the back, here's what it says. So there you go. It comes with one Batarang, if it will focus. And it also comes with a grapnel gun. So here's Rebirth Batman in all of his black and gray glory, if the camera will focus. The camera's not wanting to focus today. There we go. So here he is. A lot of people are mixed on this guy. You either love him or you hate him. So that's fun. You know what? I'll do this real quick. Here's what he looks like in some different lighting. Let me zoom the camera out a bit. So here's what he looks like with the blue lighting. Here's green, red, here's some yellow, some more blue, and then some pink. And we got a light blue there. And then, yeah, let's go back to white. So, like I said, you either love this guy or hate him. Some things people don't like about this guy are the thunder guys. The thunder thighs he has on him. A lot of people do not like the thicker thighs. I don't have a problem with this myself. I think it looks fine. A lot of people think he has small hands as well. That is another thing people dislike about this guy. I don't have too much of a problem with it. I only really have I don't know. It looks fine to me. The only real problem with proportions I have is the head. It does look a little small. If we put him on his stand and then we bring in Superman, the Rebirth Superman, so these two are supposed to go together. So that's nice. So if we look at the proportions of these two, we see that his head is bigger. His is smaller. It doesn't look too bad next to him, though. Actually, now I'm looking at it. But you can see how much bigger his torso is compared to his, but they're supposed to be different body sizes, so I guess it's fine. You can see how much bigger his hands are compared to his as well. He's less thicker than Batman in the thighs as well. So, it depends on how you feel about it. I'm not too fussed about it, only really the head, because as soon as I got it out of the box, I could tell that it was a little too small. Everything else looks fine to me. You'll have to decide on your own for that. So that's the thing. Plus, it really depends on if you like this design as well. This design, I personally like, so I really like how this guy looks. But if you don't like him, it's going to be a bit of a thing for you. But maybe he makes up for it in articulation. So let's look at that. Sorry if it looks a little overexposed, but my camera's not wanting to work for me. So yeah, here's the head. Alright, so we're gonna go from the head to the feet articulation. So first up, here's how much I can get him to look up. Okay. So here's his head movement. So you can get your standard side to side, that's fine. You get your pivot, like this. Then you go down like that, and then you can get pretty good up. So that is good for the head. So for the ab articulation, so let's move his arms up here. So we can so we have the top ball, which is standard for the Multiverse line. You don't really get too much out of it, but if you combine it with the bottom of the torso, you can get a pretty good amount. Probably be better if I zoomed out a bit. So let's see. Let's see if my camera wants to work for me. Alright, so we get that much down out of the torso. That is a decent crunch. Pretty good for the Multiverse line. Then we get this much back if you force it. You get a bit of a chunk coming out of the middle there, which is unfortunate. But I guess there's nothing really you could do about that. So that's the torso. Then we'll move on to the arms. Alright, so in the arms we get our, let's see, we get our ball movement at the armpit there, and then we get our out movement right there. Then we get our bicep swivel. Then we get our double jointed elbow. Not the most you can get out of it. If you move it up first and then do that, you get the most out of your elbow. Then if we move the hand up, or the arm down, we can get the wrist, we can get to move up and down. Not too much though, because of how the wrist is. We can get it to move, there we go. We can get it to move that much right there. And then let's move on to the hips. Alright, prepare for the bat junk. Okay. So what we have in the hips, we have our out movement like that. Then we can move the leg this much. You don't really get too much out of it because of how thick the thighs are. So that is a little limiting because of the thick thighs. No lies. Then for the knees, we get this much. So I would say that's a pretty good amount. Let's see if we can kick ourselves in the butt here. Oh, it looks like so the legs might be a little bit too long as well, because usually a leg is supposed to be about the size there. So maybe the leg's a little bit too long too. Maybe that's throwing people off. So let's move on to the feet. Free Batman foot picks. Alright. So what we get here is we can move ourselves side to side like that. We get up and down. We get our toe. So that's cool. Then we get our pivot. And that is the articulation of the Batman here. So I think articulation-wise, this is a pretty good figure. It's not really stilted, and it is pretty free moving. So, I don't know. I think this guy is pretty well articulated, but you'll have to say for yourself if you feel like that's enough for $20 retail. So we'll move on to some scale comparisons, which I already compared him to Superman, so I'll do that real quick. So here he is with the Rebirth Superman, and then there he is with the Action Comics 1000 Superman. Here he is with Hal Jordan Green Lantern. I would compare him to Rebirth Wonder Woman, but there is no Rebirth Wonder Woman, so here's the best I got. This is the Todd McFarlane designed Wonder Woman. And here he is with the DC Multiverse Arkham City Catwoman. He is a little short for this Catwoman, but if you do it right, you could make it work. And I actually forgot to mention this, and I forgot to say that he has a scratch on his pectorals. See, that's why I might display him with my Catwoman, but I got him for my my Justice League. So that is unfortunate that I got a scratch on my Batman's torso. Also, here's a good shot of the logo. There you are. So yeah, this is the best Batman I have, minus the Dark Knight Returns Batman. So yeah, I appreciate having a more posable Batman. I don't collect a lot of Batman figures, even though I have 7, but they're all weird variants of Batman, so it's nice to have a standard, regular kind of Batman. So I would rate this guy a 8 or 9 out of 10. Maybe an 8.5. I think that would be the best way to meet in the middle there. I really do like this figure. I like the design of Rebirth Batman a lot, and I feel like it captures it well, minus the proportions for some people. If you feel the proportions are off, then I don't know. I don't feel so myself, but I could see why some people feel that way, especially about the head. The head's a little too small. But, yeah, I think this is a good figure. I would recommend buying it. It looks good from pretty much every angle that you could put him in, and yeah, he's very photo friendly, and I think you would like him if you got him. And now I'm going to show some photos of him, so be ready.